Hello, this is Magda Shares. Welcome after a long break, but I'm sorry. I had so many things in my head and had to run errands and concentrate on my private life, which is not easy. That I just couldn't. Although I wanted so much to talk to you and share with you my opinions and listen, reach yours. I just couldn't. So please forgive me. I'm trying the best I can. But I am here and I am so glad to be at last talking to you. So how are you doing? You doing great? You doing fine? Everything's okay? I hope so. So, what are we going to talk about? The same old story that everyone's talking about. Because this is a never-ending story right now. However, it's getting more and more interesting, right? And as it was happening over a period of time that I couldn't make a film, I wanted so much to talk to you about what was happening. Oh gosh. So we have Brian Kohlberger and the Idaho 4 case. And the problem with the jury, a probable leak from the jury to Mr. Gonsalves. And that's huge. That's huge. Because if it's true, how could this trial be impartial? How could this trial be just? I can't imagine so. If I believe there were two jurors, talked to father of one victim, sharing some information that could never be shared at this moment. So how could we even consider that trial could be impartial, just, and possible to happen? And how could so many people fuck up this case? And I'm talking about law enforcement. I'm talking about the jurors. Mr. Gonsalves was very close to talking to one of the witnesses, but he was intercepted by the FBI. So, what's going on? It looks like nobody has control over that. Now, Brian I don't know what to believe, because I know I guess you all know some new information about his suit that he probably bought, and he had a receipt for that suit, but his suit had never been found. So that may suggest that he was dressed in that suit that covered his entire body and committed this homicide and undressed. But tell me where did he undress? Because I can't imagine. He had only about 8 minutes. He rushed to his car. If he had undressed in his car, he would have definitely left his DNA. If he had undressed in the house, he would have definitely left his DNA. So where did he undress? Leaving no trace of DNA whatsoever. Now, another thing that has been spoken about very often, and it really caused some concern, is that the timeline or the order, I'm sorry, it's going to be graphic, but the order of killings does not make any sense. Because according to the PCA, he went upstairs, killed the girls, and I cannot imagine that during that brutal, unbelievably brutal killing, none of them uttered scream, shouts, a word for help. I can't believe so. Now, there were 2 people downstairs, meaning Zana and Ethan. So the person walked downstairs instead of leaving the way he had come into the house. So he went downstairs, and now what? And now what? Did he come across Ethan, who was outside, maybe, I don't know, looking around, seeing what was going on? I don't believe so. And you know why? Because there would have been fights. And there would have been a great, savage fight for life. The next thing is Ethan was found in his bedroom, just behind the door, blocking it. And if he had been killed or severely injured in the corridor, how come he was found in his bedroom blocking the door? And what about Zana? He was just watching it? No 911 call, no attempt to escape, no attempt to call for help, nothing at all. Killing one person does not take 2 seconds. So I believe that this person, whoever he was, came into Zana and Ethan's room in order to unalive them. That's my thought, because if you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. So I can't believe that Ethan was killed in the corridor and found in his room, blocking the door. That doesn't make any sense. What else does not make sense to me is that there was no noise, not enough noise to alert everyone else in this house, to call for help, to try to fight for the life. I've never heard of such a quiet manslaughter. Such a silent, brutal killings where no one of the victims speaks anything. That's why my thoughts are not only one person was involved. No. As I told you before, the autopsy showed that the wounds that were inflicted upon those poor victims were not compatible or did not match the wounds that would be inflicted using a knife. They were different, not stabbing wounds, they were different. Maybe some of them were stabbing wounds, but there were also other kind of wounds, and they were different. So this suggests that there may have been two perpetrators at least doing their job simultaneously in two different rooms. But that's just my opinion, as you know. Now, there were two girls who survived, and at the beginning it was said that they were fast asleep because of being on drugs and alcohol, and that just they passed out, right? And now we know that it was all BS, because we found out they had been texting to each other during time of murders. So what were they texting about? I don't believe they did not hear a single word sound, commotion that did not raise their interest. I do not believe so. However, they did not leave their rooms as if they had known what was going on upstairs. So they were texting. Maybe that's just my speculation. Maybe they knew what was going on. Maybe they knew that this would happen that day. I have no idea. But looking at the evidence, looking at the behavior of those two girls, looking at the timeline, it just suggests that they must have known something. That's why they did not call 911, because they did not want to reveal something. Let it be drugs. Let it be selling the drugs illegally and something went wrong. Let it be some other kind of revenge, because I don't believe in Brian Kohlberger or anyone else being infatuated in one of those girls so much that he killed 4 people. So it was an attack, well prepared, done swiftly, and I believe by no means but by just one person. Now, what about evidence that we have in this case? We have nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can say that the alibi that Brian Kohlberger presented is absolutely unbelievable. Maybe it is. Yes, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But it does not make him guilty. Just because he said he had been driving at night and that he had this kind of habit. He had had this kind of habit for some time. It looks suspicious a bit, but it does not make him a murderer. What would make him a murderer would be a DNA found in his car, because I cannot imagine that he wouldn't transfer a bit of DNA from that house to his car, no matter how well he was dressed and protected by his outfit. No matter he would have transferred his DNA into his car. And remember, the police said that the car had not been washed afterwards. So, yep, that's a big sauce. But it doesn't make him a murderer. The knife sheath. Well, what if I tell you that he may have been framed? Because he may have been uncomfortable for somebody. I don't know for what. Maybe for this Odinism. Because as we know now, Odinism exists in this part of the USA. So maybe he was just he was just somebody to be eliminated. So when you enter the house, when you storm the house, you enter the house, you're not alone. You have one or two people with you. You have machete and a knife. You turn on those poor students, and it happens so quickly that they have no chance of screaming for help. Don't tell me it's not a kind of revenge for something. I can't imagine. I'm not saying Brian Kohlberger is not guilty, because I don't know. And until we see the trial, I will not know. I'm just speculating, because evidence gathered in his case, well, it's so shady and, frankly speaking, unbelievable. So, what was I talking about? Sorry, I digressed, and now. Yeah, I know. I can't imagine any other motive than revenge. Because people kill brutally out of love or out of hate, or because they take revenge on somebody. And that's it. Now this gap between the mothers and calling 911, well, it is something I've never seen. Because if you feel endangered, if you are petrified, what do? You try to, you try to save your life no matter what. So if you finally see that you are alone at home and this person is no longer with you, why don't you pick up the receiver and dial 911? Why not? The answer is clear. Because you have something to hide. And you have to clean it. And you have to prepare the house for the visit of the police officers. There is no other explanation for that. So, I don't know, but this kind of circumstantial, it's based on very weak evidence. And I don't know what defense, I don't know what else they have, but up till now, what they have is absolutely nothing. So it is possible that Brian Kohlberger will walk free. And it will be not because we are absolutely sure that he is not guilty. It would be because of the technicalities. So that case is as confusing and it is as confusing as Twin Peaks. Do you remember that film by Lynch, Twin Peaks? It was actually a very abstract film. This is the same. It's abstract. It's something that's simply nothing fits. We have puzzles, pieces of puzzles, they do not fit. We cannot put them together. Okay. I wanted also to talk to you about the war in Israel and Palestine, but I will leave it till the next episode because it would be too much, and I don't want to switch from this serious topic to another more serious topic. But I really do want to cover that conflict. Okay, thank you very much for bearing with me, listening to me. Please give me your likes if you feel like you like my videos and my comments. Write me some comments, please. I enjoy reading your comments. They are absolutely uplifting and so warm. Thank you so much for that. And for now, it's about 10 p.m. here in Poland, so I'm turning in for the night. So good night to you, and see you next time. I hope sooner than later. Thank you so much.